Good evening, everybody, and welcome to BrisScience for December 2022. My name is Dr. Joel, and tonight I'm your host as we do a slightly different BrisScience. Tonight we are going to take a lighter look at some of the top stories from science and technology from 2022. In a moment, we're going to bring on our amazing panel who are going to be battling wits and wittiness to uncover those stories. But first, why don't we take a look at some of the highlights of the year to date? And let's start big. Bigger than ever, space. Empty space so far. What a year for space it has been. The James Webb Space Telescope has taken images with more clarity, more distance than ever before. We took the first photo of the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And most recently, NASA is going back to the moon. 50 years after the last Apollo moon mission, NASA has launched the Artemis mission, where the capsule has already orbited around the moon and is on its way back to splash down on Sunday, unless Mark McGowan closes the border before then. Now, this mission is the first in a sequence of missions that will result in real astronauts going back to the moon in 2025. Because this mission was manned only by Donald Trump. No, I'm sorry, it was crewed by a dummy. Very easy mistake to make. Now, until very recently, NASA has been forced to rely on Russian rockets, but the new Artemis rockets are all American-made, meaning that instead of relying on an unstable Russian government, they can rely on an unstable US government instead. Unfortunately, the next phase of the mission is made by SpaceX, which means they have to rely on Elon Musk. And it's legit. In response to those concerns, Elon has offered NASA a new verified launch program. See? Quality joke for a very small subset of you there. This is why we break. Yes, for $8 a month, NASA can get Elon to come and personally paint a blue tick on the side of the rocket. Doesn't do anything to improve the launch, but it keeps Elon busy. And Elon is busy at the moment between creating electric vehicles, rockets, neural brain interfaces, and running Twitter. I've even heard a rumor that he recently turned down the purchase of the Roomba vacuum company after he discovered that more than 40% of their vacuum cleaners were actually bots. Can we get that mic'd up? Because that'll be fantastic. Really going to need that. It's a niche joke, but it's really good, trust me. Now, of course, it is easy to make fun of Elon Musk. Researchers from the University of Queensland have published evidence of mysterious blasts of radiation from space that cannot be explained simply by solar storms from our sun. Some of these historical Miyake events would have measured 4 years' worth of solar radiation in a single hit, which sounds scary, but scientists say after years of arguing with politicians about climate change, being hit by a giant blast of space radiation would be a mercy. The scientists analysed radioactive carbon-14 found in tree rings, and by examining the data, found that these blasts did not correlate with the cycles of the sun, the solar cycles. It's now not clear whether this radiation is from some unknown solar phenomenon or is just aliens tidying up the neighbourhood. 50-50 at this point, though. Now, to be clear, these historical bursts would not actually kill everyone, but they would destroy global telecommunication and power grids, potentially for months, which would be bad. On the other hand, it would also take down Twitter. So it's really swings or roundabouts at this point. What we do know is that these events happen on average once every 1,000 years, and the last event was 1,029 years ago. So lots to look forward to in 2023. New research has revealed that changing your diet can add 6 to 7 years to your life, or up to 10 years if you're young and really boring. An optimal diet included more legumes and whole grains, less red and processed meat, and lots of fruit and vegetables. This adds to a growing body of scientific literature say that we can extend our lives by eating lots of fruit and veg, although that could just be lobbying from Big Pharma. No, you missed it, but thank you. However, the diet does have skeptics who have queried whether eating a low-fat, low-salt, low-sugar, low-alcohol diet does actually extend your life, or does it just feel that way? Of course, the good news is that with climate change destroying unhealthy crops like chocolate and wine and yes, that's right, and coffee's going as well, all going. That means we'll all get to live long enough to see fossil fuel companies destroy the way of life that we know it. But there is some good news here. Fossil fuel companies are changing and have committed to significant emissions reduction. No, I'm just kidding. They're actually suing governments over climate action. Yes, so that's nice. But I think there could be a simple solution. All we have to do is get Elon Musk to come in and buy our coal power stations just like he bought Twitter. And I reckon in 6 months, they'll be run into the ground. Now, finally, let's finish on a bit of an upbeat note. For the first time, researchers have observed insects playing with toys just for fun. In a series of experiments, bumblebees would delay receiving a treat in order to play with toy wooden balls, despite having no external incentive or reward to do so. The bees would climb on and roll the balls around and play on them. And unlike human kids, scientists only had to take away their toys once due to bad behaviour. So it's the puns that we like. Okay. You're in for a treat. This study is the first evidence to suggest that insects, like some other animals, might have fun just for the fun of it. Scientists say this could play a developmental role in helping them develop new skills. But there is still a gap between the insects playing with toys and the sort of creative, imaginative play seen in humans, such as children with fantasy games or adults who think that Bitcoin really does have value. And too soon. And while most of the bees preferred playing with the round balls, there was one bee who preferred playing with the wooden blocks with the letters on them. That was the spelling bee. Thank you very much. Now please put your hands together for our amazing panel and welcome to the BrisScience End of Year Spectacular. Come on up, panel. Okay, that was good. All right, panel is taking the stage. So tonight, our panel are going to battle through a series of games to try and uncover some more of those big stories. Let me introduce them. Here we go. On my left, we have Associate Professor Jack Wang, who is a microbiologist, an education specialist, and a YouTube star. And yes, he is just one person. Please put your hands together. Professor Jack Wang.
Hi, everyone.
Joining him is an incredible sustainable fisheries expert, always with her finger on the scales. Please put your hands together for Elise Fox. And rounding out the team is a performer, director and writer with more successful shows under her belt than Scott Morrison had ministries. Please put your hands together for Natalie Mahensky. Hey. Jack, before we get into things, tell me a little bit about what you're working on at UQ.
Yeah, so my role is in teaching large classes, and I'm a microbiologist, so we talk to them about bacteria and viruses, and that topic, for some reason, gets a lot of student interest in this day and age, but really, the classes are getting bigger, and the students are coming to class less and less, so it's a wicked problem that doesn't seem to have a solution in sight, so it's actually a really exciting time to work in universities, yeah.
It's one of those like real estate euphemisms, really exciting time. And is there anything, you could recommend to people, like if they were teaching or educating, what should they do? Is there anything?
So I think managing people's expectations is the most important thing. So I'm managing your expectations right now. Please lower them about 10%. I think that's a good bump. Not 20, 10%.
Fantastic. Elise, sustainable fishes. Tell me about the maths of fish.
So I'm a stock assessment scientist, so my job is to get lots of different data sets together to create a model to figure out if, basically my job is to count the fish in the ocean and to see if there are lots of them or not many of them, and then make rules from that.
Amazing.
So does that mean, Elise, that for you every week is Shark Week?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, that's brilliant.
Well, Nat, good time to...
Hi, sorry.
So, Nat, you have many hats, but one of them is Act React, your amazing theatre company.
It is an amazing theatre company that has definitely gone from strength to strength in the year of our Lord 2022.
And...
The arts, people. I don't know about you in your science world. You're having lots of luck with all your success with viruses and vaccines, and then over here, nobody comes and pays for our shows anymore because, it's too close. We don't want to get COVID. I'm not bitter. I shouldn't have started this way. I've gotten off on the wrong foot.
No.
I shouldn't have led my existential crisis about questioning all of my life's, decisions to start off the show. That's poor form.
In our defence, we don't want to get COVID.
But thank you so much. Give a big round of applause for
Come on. I'll be cheerful. I'll be more cheerful.
Tonight, they're battling off against an incredible person, Dr. Peter Ellerton, who is smart but critical. Sorry, he's a critical thinker. From the UQ Critical Thinking Program, please welcome Dr. Peter Ellerton. Next up, the group leader from the Institute for Molecular Bioscience at UQ, studying when blood vessels go wrong, which is also an upcoming horror movie. Please put your hands together for Emma Gordon. And last, but by no means least, performer and science communicator and, I'm sorry, Greg, but the smarter half of the Smart Enough to Know Better Science podcast. Please put your hands together for Dan Beeston. Dan, Smart Enough to Know Better, your podcast, still going strong despite COVID and...
Oh, even better from COVID. We're very excited about, well, we had several episodes where I didn't have to come up with anything at all. We just talked and cried and talked. It was brilliant.
Yeah, do you feel like the pandemic has created like 1,000 PhD topics to come out of this? Sociology, maths, crime?
It's come up with a whole bunch of people who say they've got PhDs on Facebook.
Not wrong. Speaking of that, Dr. Emma Gordon, tell me about your work.
So I basically look at kind of how the cells in blood vessels go wrong kind of in a range of diseases, so like COVID-19, where you get quite a lot of kind of vascular pathologies, atherosclerosis, so, diseases of the large arteries and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. So is there anything that I should be doing to protect my precious blood vessels?
Well, I think you've already seen that you should be eating a diet of low salt, low fat, no alcohol, only fruits and vegetables, and plenty of exercise, and that's
Also avoid Nat's shows.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. New favourite.
Yeah, we need to get that mic up as
shirt.
well. We'll add it in post.
New favourite.
Fantastic. And last but again, no means least, Peter, tell me about the critical thinking program.
Well, it is a program put together to put more critical thinking into the world.
Yeah.
Joel.
Yeah. So where were you over the last couple of years?
Well, let me demonstrate. Who thinks they're a critical thinker? Yeah, you see the problem, Joel.
Well, the good thing is
Work
we've
is ahead
offended
of
our
us.
whole audience straight off the bat.
That's good. That's good.
Any tips, top tip for being a more critical thinker?
Oh. Yes, you've got to learn what the right questions are. I think that's the thing to ask, okay? And we'll never stop asking questions. It's always going to be. The curious people are the best thinkers, I think, in life. So never shut down, always be curious, and you'll find your way there.
Also avoids giving answers, which is a great thing for an academic.
As a philosopher, I'm just...
Mate, big round of applause for the team on my right. Let's get into it. Our first game tonight is mandatory sentencing, where our teams are going to be presented with a headline from the news this year, one word at a time. First team to get their headline will get the points, which I'm absolutely totally keeping track of with this pencil. All right, are you ready? Okay, first one, I'll give you a clue, just for Nat, performing arts.
Oh, great. It's going to be embarrassing when I fail at this, isn't it?
Do we have buzzers?
Look, no, but you can make whatever buzzing noise, you know,
Yeah, cool.
Fish
Should we
noises.
practice them?
Like a bee, like the bees in your monologue. They make a buzzing noise.
Absolutely.
Which I thought was a really ironic story, because I also have a toy called the bumblebee that I've been... Never mind. Yeah, it's a slow burn, that one. You can take that joke home with you, think about it later.
And the first word of our headline tonight is bats. Both teams can jump in whenever you want.
Is this a new Andrew Lloyd Webber musical?
It couldn't be worse.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you want another word?
Yeah, I think so.
Two? Is it two? Bats two.
Bats two. That would be a
Feature.
good sequel.
Bats and.
Close,
Okay.
very close.
Yeah, well, it was a joining word.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Bats and chips? Chips. Oh, no, we're not supposed to eat bats anymore. That's right.
Is it bats and balls?
No, but I like your little insect reference there. No.
Bats and. I was going to say horses, because they're the things that get the Hendra virus, but it's performing arts, and unless someone's making an all-new musical called Hendra.
I hear it's catchy.
Yeah! Award yourself 10 points.
I'm going to do that.
It's not another new Batman, is it? We've had enough, haven't we? Yeah, there's new Batman every year.
Can you
yeah.
ever have enough?
I'm not sure, depending on the crowd.
Give us another word.
Let's add another word. Bats and death, which still consistent.
Still
Oh,
Batman.
I'm
yep.
writing that down as
Very
a show
morbid.
idea. That's a great name for a show.
Bats and death.
Bats and
Is
death.
it some sort of COVID-19 musical?
No, but you and Nat definitely need to
Yeah,
hang
we'll
out.
talk,
more.
yeah.
Yeah, we will, yeah.
Are
I'm
these
getting
words,
10% of the
in
gross.
order?
These
Of their
words are
headline?
in order.
Like,
Is
it's
it-
not death, bats, metal, and...
Ozzy Osbourne?
So bats can hear really well, quite famously.
Yes.
And death metal's very good at causing people to go deaf, quite
Yes.
famously. So
They don't mix.
they don't mix. Bats and death metal don't mix. You end up with a bunch of deaf bats and they can't see anything either. They're bats.
He has got it absolutely wrong, but it was a great attempt.
Oh, what?
No, but you know, you're circling around. There is something there.
Is it
That's
something
how
about- 'cause,
bats
like,
move.
Bats are a kind of a heavy metal animal, aren't they?
They love it.
Like, you're not going to be screaming like, I love my cat, it's so cute and fluffy. But you might yell, you know, something about a bat, wouldn't you?
Would you?
I guess that's true.
I'm theorising here, people. I'm trying to string
Does
this
this
out.
have anything to do with meatloaf?
No, but I'm going to give you another word just because,
right.
you know, you guys are
Time.
marching on here.
Oh.
Oh. Well,
Oh,
best hearing
do
then.
bats and death metal singers make their sound with the same part of their throats, like the same way, the same mechanism?
What sound?
It's sort of a script, like the
Sonar?
only sound death metal singers make.
Which is?
It's like a scream.
I'm going to take it. He's got it! He's got it right. Bats and death metal singers use the same vocal technique to growl.
And so a bat death metal singer would tear the head off Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm going to give you 5 points, and I'm going to give 1 point to Nat for, you know, honing in on the musical.
Thank
aspects
you.
of it.
Take it, we'll need
Pity
it.
point, yes.
Yes. Well, the points are definitely carefully tallied at the end, so it's really important that someone's keeping notes, because I'm not. Yes, researchers from the University of Southern Denmark have found that bats use so-called false vocal folds to communicate through low growls, a tech used by humans only in Tuvan throat singers and death metal musicians. Well, I say musicians.
Yeah, those tube and throat singers.
The growls give the bats a vocal range, and this is from the researcher, only slightly wider than Mariah Carey. And coincidentally, the bats are planning to release their cover of All I Want for Christmas Is You in time for December next year. All right, let's go on to our next headline. Here we go, one more, a bit of a warm-up. Clue is biology.
All right. Pressure's on.
I feel like the pressure on for our
Pressure's on.
scientists who work in biology. First word is... You can do it. Oh,
This is
grow up.
awkward. Yeah.
Science.
Cock.
Anyone else game to dig themselves deeper here?
Anything coming up, Jack?
Again, we're managing expectations here. Yeah.
That gets another one of those pity
We're doing
Hooray! Is it something to do with like early man? You know, the Homo erectus species.
No, but I like your thinking.
I'm trying to be dignified here and not just go for the cheap, obvious joke. Dan.
Is that pre-8 p.m., man?
Let's give you another word. Second word is crested.
I feel like the next word is going to be bird.
Yeah.
Or it might be dinosaur.
Or you're,
Dinosaurs love
6 of 1.
crests.
you're close. You're like a million years too early, but
Alligators? Crocodiles?
no. You don't want it?
Penguins.
Oh, penguins.
Erect crested penguins. Why were they in the news?
Do they like surfing? They like surfing erect crests of waves.
These things could be true, but aren't. Let's give you one more. What do they always do?
Freeze? No, that's what they don't do. They always don't freeze.
How many words have we got left?
Do they always like hunt in packs or fish in packs or
No, but I like
mate
your
for life?
thinking.
Yeah,
Are these the penguins that give love pebbles? They.
No, this is actually quite an unromantic story.
Oh. Hate pebbles.
What do you got? What do you got?
Always kill.
Well, I was going to, maybe if it's unromantic, do they sleep around? I mean, do they sleep around?
Oh.
Sexy penguins.
Yeah.
I like your thinking. It's not quite that. But let me give you one more word.
Oh.
Reject.
Flaccid crested. They always reject flaccid crested penguins. It's like, sorry, buddy. Come on.
I think we should all just remember here, the whole cloaca thing.
Do they're young? They're children?
Yes.
Penguin
Yes.
children.
Sorry,
They're penguin
they're
children.
penguin children, but a little bit more information. Which specific child do they reject?
Oh, the firstborn?
Who's that?
Firstborn chick?
It is. I'm gonna split the points
Oh!
there.
Good job.
Erect crested penguins always reject their first egg.
Oh, okay.
Give them a round of applause.
Wow!
Yes, believe it or not. That's an erect crested penguin. Yes, erect,
Cool.
which is really hard to keep saying. Erect crested penguins reject their first egg, ignoring it in favour of their youngest child, just like human parents.
So it's not
Sorry, Mum.
it's not a cock at all. It's a different species of bird.
Oh, yes. That's where you were going. You were right there from the very start, Dan. You were on the
I'm a
chickens,
good
but
boy.
yes. It turns out that the first egg is usually dumped on a rock, with 40% of penguin parents then just ignoring it. The researchers say this could be because the first egg, formed while the penguins were travelling, may be smaller and inferior to the second egg, and so not worth spending limited resources on. However, when interviewed, the penguin parents said it wasn't personal. It's just that after laying their first egg, they were tired, hungry, and just really craving an omelette.
I just point out, Joel, that 40% rejection is not usual. That's it. They usually don't in this case.
They don't.
Well, 60%
Oh, yeah.
they keep. So it's not what they usually do. just to salvage the poor buggers.
Sorry, I went technically deaf in my right ear then, Peter. What were you saying? Were you correcting me up here?
I was answering the next question.
Ah, yes, right.
Sorry.
Marvellous. Let's push on. At the end of the first round, 4 points here, but 7 points here. Give them a round of applause. All right, it's time for our non-copyrighted round. Guess whom? In this round, our teams are going to have to identify a mysterious researcher, finding out who they are and what they have just done. And to that end, could you please put your hands together and welcome our special guest, Andres. There he is, over there. Bring him up on stage. Come on up here. Now, if you could stand here.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, the way this game works is you are going to have to deduce what Andres does using only yes and no questions. So you're going to ask questions. If you get a yes, you get to ask another question. If you get a no, I'm going to throw it over the other team for them to have an attempt. I also may throw to the other team at any point because I'm capricious and fickle. So we're going to start it off with 1 point on offer. Would you like to take the first crack? What would you like to ask?
Are you a scientist?
Yes, I am.
Yes, he's a scientist.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Do you like your job?
Oh, come on. Come on.
That's all I've got.
Good answer to yes.
Yes, so far. Do you need to use a microscope in your work?
I do.
Oh, there you go. Oh, microscope, great.
Do you work out?
I'm going to take that as a yes, and I'm going to throw it over to the other team.
Oh, no.
Good lad, we got something to work with. We got
Just
this.
to give Nat a moment to collect her thoughts.
What
What
are
have
you
you got?
writing?
Are the objects of your study lethal?
I could say yes.
Yeah, in a roundabout way. In the same way that anything technically is lethal.
Yeah, weird question, but yes.
Yes, okay.
It's all dosage.
It is.
It's all dosage. Bunch of poisonous spiders, you eat enough of them, you're in trouble.
So when you're using microscopes, do you look at things that are big or small?
Yes or no? Like,
Do you look at
The
things
answer
that
to
are
that question
do you
is
look at
yes.
things that are big?
They are usually small. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to take that as a no and throw it back over here.
Is your job really hard to explain at parties?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Are you one of those UQ scientists who originally created a COVID vaccine and then something went a bit wrong with it, but now they're apparently back and doing something good?
No related. No way at all.
No COVID relation. Okay,
We're
great.
going to go up to 3 points. The stakes are rising, because this is clearly not trivial.
Ah.
Okay. Has your research saved lives thus far?
Yes.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Good.
A lot of lives?
Potentially, yes. Could be a lot of time.
this is biology then, right?
Yes.
Like, what? Yep. Boom. Sorry, I should have asked him. Yeah, he's the one who can tell me the answer.
Biology, yes.
Yes, it's biology.
Um,
I'm going to throw it over.
uh, is it?
Do you work with animals?
Yes.
I was about to ask the same thing. Oh, we're mind melding.
Do you?
Do they have? Are there vertebrates that you work with?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, it's vertebrates.
Vertebrates.
What's
Yep.
a vertebrate?
Do,
They have a spine. They have a spine. They have a
Oh,
spine.
do
Yeah,
you-
they have a spine.
Okay, so not politicians.
do the?
Neither do I.
Do your animals? Are they terrestrial? Do they live on land?
Say it again.
Are they terrestrial animals that you look
Yes,
at?
terrestrial. They live in land. Yeah.
Animals live on land, yes.
Some live in the ocean.
Any more questions? We've got a lot of yeses. Throw it over. Okay, go.
Are the animals you work on like companion animals that we would encounter daily? Like cats and dogs?
Yes.
Not exclusive.
Not exclusively, but yes.
Oh, not exclusively.
Some of them are, some of them are not.
Right, so is your work targeting a major human disease?
No, no human disease.
Bad luck. Back over to the team with lots of questions.
Is it, we got so many. Is it just one type of animal that you look at?
I work with a lot of animals.
That's a no.
Oh, a lot of
Is it a...
That's a no, Nat.
There are rules, Nat. In this carefully orchestrated game we've played many times before and definitely know how it works.
Is your
Emma.
Oh, no, go down.
is your goal at the end of this to have fewer of these animals?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Is your goal at the end of this to have more of this type of animal?
Yes, good question.
Correct.
Do you work with pandas?
That's
No.
specific.
What was that one?
Do you work with
Pandas.
pandas?
Pandas. Do you work with horses?
Yes.
What?
Saves
Don't we have-
lives.
don't we have
works
heaps of
with
horses?
horses. Oh, does
It's a Lone Ranger.
it saves human lives?
Oh, I never
No,
said human.
no, he never said human. He never said. He's saving
Well,
horses.
luckily I didn't ask him a question.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
so
if I
I
ever
got to
get,
say no. See, so
if
you're
I
saying-
ever get trapped in a genie's cave, I'm on Dan's list to get a free wish to get out.
So, does your research make super horses that can't break their legs at major gambling functions?
No.
Ah.
There'd be no market for that, Dan.
Cool, but no.
Do you... I mentioned it before, but do you research Hendra virus?
No.
That was going to be
No,
my
not
question.
Do
Hendra.
not work with virus or disease. So.
Oh.
Closing out that line there.
Do you
Not
work
working
with
viruses.
bionic robot horses? No.
Do you work with baby horses or like young horses?
Yes. I mean, yes.
Do you only work with horses and the little things that live in them?
I thought he was a horse scientist.
I mentioned cats.
Not only horses.
I
Do
mentioned
you work
cats
with
and
hood and...
dogs.
But
Oh, I
that's
can't
a good
say,
line
can
of
I?
questioning there. Good line of questioning.
Do you work with teeth? Lots of animals
Horse
have
teeth?
Is it hoof and mouth disease that you're working on?
What is that?
The hoof and the mouth and the disease thing?
No. No
Okay.
disease.
Right. No disease.
No
Yes,
disease.
you
with
said that.
disease.
Do I have to say it again?
Yes, yes.
So we're working with animals, no diseases, goal is to make more of them.
Are you
Bring
an
more of them.
animal
Microscope, more animals.
Oh, do you work with artificial insemination
Yes.
of animals?
Oh,
Not exactly that.
But
Do you
sort of.
work with insemination of animals?
I've done it in the past, but this is not related.
What my client is trying to say.
Define itself.
That's freaky. I like it.
So, are you trying to make horses much more tasty to our palate?
I think
not
we're
just
so close.
Are you a horse vet?
Yes.
Like a vet,
Is that your job title?
Yeah, I'm a vet. That's my title.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a
So we're
vet.
narrowing it down. So, but I want to know.
But not
this was in the
diseases.
news just the last 2 or 3 weeks for a particular achievement. You're very close. What was it?
are you increasing the fertility of large mammal horse-like objects?
You're close, but not exactly right.
Are you a fluffer?
What my client is trying to say is,
Okay.
I think we're very, very
so
close. So we're working with it's not just horses. What's something else similar to a horse?
cow.
Farm animals.
Bull.
Yes, but
Another
Camel.
animal similar to the horse, that is not the cow.
go to
Donkey.
the audience.
A donkey.
Donkey.
Donkey, yes.
Get it.
Wait, you study ass?
Wait, are you... Hang on. So, are you making a traditionally difficult to breed creature much more breed-worthy? That was the worst sentence I've ever said in my life. No, because if you, like a mule,
Like a mule,
can't
yeah.
mate, so it's hybrids, like the hybrids can't mate. Are you making it like, mules for everyone?
Are you making
mule
fertile
action.
mules?
I do hybrids, but that's not the recent achievement.
Ah, right.
The reason you're the first person.
Have you made like a donkey that self-identifies as a mule?
No, first person to successfully
Oh my God.
create
Oh, and like an opposite of a donkey, like the back to front
Microscope,
mule.
small, tiny.
A tiny donkey.
Well, that's where you do it.
Small, very early.
Zygote. A zygote?
Yes,
Did you
you've
clone
cloned a
a donkey?
Have you cloned a donkey?
Is that? Have they done that yet?
Ah,
Did you clone a horse?
Created the
I
first.
did in the past.
Did you clone an evil donkey? What is this?
Did you shoot
Ever.
ectopic donkey.
First
Embryo.
First embryo.
First embryo.
of
First embryo. Just embryo.
Of donkey.
I can give it to them. Give it
Embryo. Some embryo.
Could you grab that microphone there and tell everybody what you do and what you were in the news for just recently?
All right, good evening, everybody. So what I do is I do embryos in the laboratory from different kind of species. But the last achievement was the first IVF donkey embryo from an endangered donkey species. So there's maybe you guys don't know, but actually there are several species of donkey, and some of them are endangered. So what we are trying is to apply technology and to produce embryos in the lab so we can preserve that genetic. And now we have the embryo frozen, and we are planning to transfer this embryo in the near future to have donkeys babies. And in that way, we can contribute to preservation of the species.
Give a huge round of applause. Honest Embryos and University of Queensland, thank you for coming in.
Guys, I forgot to ask if he was single.
Yeah, it's a freeing time when you've got unlimited questions.
Yeah.
I'm not quite
got an
sure
ass
who
I can
deserves
show
the
you.
points there. The audience was looking pretty good for a while there. But I'm going to go 3 points over here, 2 points over here, because I feel like everybody contributed. So there we go. That means at the end of that round, 8 points here, 9 points here. All right. It's time now. We've gotten to know another researcher, but it's time to get to know our panel a little bit better with... Oh. This.
Oh.
Sorry, I should have put your paper up there as well. There we go.
Stereogenology.
Is that a before or after photo with the embryo? Or
That's-
is it during?
That's the donkey equivalent of bad stock photos for scientists.
I thought a donkey was just an unpopular horse, so I've learned something.
All right, let's go on. I'm going to hand over first to Elise, who has prepared 2 devious truths and 1 stunning lie. You over here have to discover which is her truth and which is her lie.
Ooh. Okay. My name's Elise. Here are my 3. 1 point to whoever that was. Number 1, I am the captain of the Queensland Quidditch team. Number 2, I got a shout out in Nature for my Halloween costume. And number 3, I can name all of the native fish species in coastal Queensland.
There is no way she can name all of those coastal species. She just counts them.
I give them names as well.
I think that's a
Yeah, I know
lie.
they've got names, but there's no way you're remembering all their names because you've got to count all of them.
Brian and Harry and Sue.
Those aren't fish names. Don't be ridiculous.
What's the fish name, Dan?
But I think your last name.
Or it's more like that. Like they can't form.
Right.
Like they can
That's
only
what most
form
of them sound
vowels, is what I'm saying.
Well, I guess by your, amazing fish dress that you did get a shout out in Nature for your Halloween costume. You seem fairly fashion forward, savvy.
Thank you. Aw.
So
Mind
I
you,
reckon-
she's got a kind of a Quidditch thing going too.
A witchy vibe.
Yeah, Quidditchy vibe. That is that's not a great sport. Like,
I might or might not be offended.
it's
Yeah.
it's a poorly balanced sport because everyone just fats around for a while and then someone finds something and wins.
Bit like science, really.
Joel's going to win this game.
I'm going to call the last one a lie because there's no such thing as a fish species, as a fish. There you go.
What?
There's no such thing as a fish as a group of animals.
Correct. What was the wording on this? Okay, well, okay. Let's say finfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
If
you're
we
going
wanna
to
get
say
technical.
lie, Emma?
Finn, that's a fish name.
That's one of them. That's on the list.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the last one as well.
You say the last one's a lie. Dan,
Yeah.
do you agree with the rest of your team?
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, you're going to say the last one's a lie. What was the truth? What was the lie?
Yeah, I can't name all of the native fish species.
They got it!
There are
Give
so
a round of
many.
applause. I do happen to have a photo of Elisa's Halloween costume. You might need to explain it for everyone.
sure.
Check this out.
Oh my God, it's the stork guy! The sexy, horny stork. Who loves
Yeah,
it?
on the left.
And on the right is like... do you want to tell everyone about your costume?
Yeah, sure. So on the right is not the costume. That's the real thing. So on the very right there is Walnut, who is a she is a white-naped crane, and she's an endangered species, and she lives at the Smithsonian research zoo, and they kept giving her mates to try and get her to make more crane babies, but the mates kept mysteriously dying, so she just murdered them, and then they sort of were giving up, and then this guy Chris Crow, bird pun, not even intentional, he started working at the zoo, and the Walnut, the crane, was like, "Oh, I like you," and did this weird little bird courting ritual dance to him, and he was like, "Oh, okay," and did it back, and now he is her bird husband, and so he's the only one that is allowed to go into the enclosure and take care of her, and she gets really sad when he's not there, and so gets creepy, he was able to help artificially inseminate her and make more crane babies.
You laughed when Dan asked about Andre's.
and so now he's the only one who's allowed near her, and also she's got 20 years left in her life, so he's stuck there. He's like a proper bird husband. So that's me, and that's my real life husband. Aww.
So, do we... Are we then going to expect you to dress up as Andre and his donkey when he does his sexy dance to the...
We're well practiced now.
So were you going to a party dressed as that, or was that just how...
That's just a
were
casual
you guys
Saturday
doing
night.
a role play where you would dance for...
Moving right along. But it is worth pointing out that shout out in Nature, if you don't know, Nature is basically the top science journal in the world.
Yeah.
And they saw your costume on
Yeah,
Twitter and
so
gave you a shout out.
I can say I've been published in Nature.
Yes!
Amazing. I'm going to go that back. We're going to do one more of these. I'm going to throw over to Peter. I've got you all written down here if you don't know them off the top of your head.
I remember them well, Joel.
Amazing.
Okay, yep.
Definitely the one that's true, particularly.
Well,
Two that true, even.
yes, that's right. Okay, the two that were true. All right, so, in no particular order. First, I was almost taken by a leopard in South Africa. Second, I have swum uncaged with wild sharks. And three, I had a pet monkey as a kid.
Oh, goodness.
All right, animal-based.
So remind us, what was the first one?
Was a leopard.
Almost
Leopard.
taken by a leopard in
Almost
South
taken
Africa.
where? To dinner? To a movie?
It's very personal.
Taken about.
Yes.
Swim with sharks.
And swum with sharks.
And then...
And
Yeah,
had a
well,
pet
Dan
monkey.
swam with a shark, I know, because I chipped in for his 40th birthday present.
Oh.
So you can do that up at Underwater
But
World.
in a
on the
cage?
Not wild sharks, though.
Yes, pitted.
I mean, they party pretty
did-
hard
I
once
did
the
say
tourists have left.
These ones had little leashes on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wild live sharks too,
So
just in
where-
case yours were.
So where were you for the leopard?
Well, could I have been for the leopard? It was South Africa.
And where were you for the shark?
Oh, I didn't say, but it could have been Fiji.
And where were you for the monkey?
It could be Malaysia.
Do you say you had
Very
a pet
confident
monkey?
with those.
I did.
How old were you when you had the pet monkey, maybe?
I was 4 or 5.
I like how this team is.
You're interrogating
a
him.
lot
I
more
like it. Yeah, this is good.
Tell us, damn
It's not going to
it.
sit. Oh.
Where were you when
Did you?
It was
did
the
Are
monkey.
there monkeys in Malaysia? I haven't been to Malaysia. Does anyone
Yeah.
know? Are there monkeys in Malaysia?
Yeah.
Okay, people are
Southeast
nodding.
Asia, yeah.
So, and what's your definition of pet? Like, did you sleep with it? You know, walk it?
I was the first person. No, that's not.
No, I mean, like, my cats sleep on my bed. That's sort of what a pet will do. Like,
I just got hung around with me and did.
yeah, so that's
did
not really a
things.
pet.
Is it like having
that's
a-
just
You know.
that's just a pest that hangs around your house.
Is it
looking
like
for
having a
scraps.
pet magpie? 'Cause you like feed it sometimes and it hangs around.
Yeah, no, we made it stay.
So you imprisoned
Made
a
the
monkey.
monkey.
The thing is,
we had a
the
pet- we
leopard
had
and
a
the monkey
prisoner.
the leopard and the monkey are very specific, where shark sounds a bit more generic.
What
You
species
know what I mean?
of shark?
Oh, so you think he just threw shark
I think
in there
shark
to
sounds
round
like a
out the
thing you
animal?
would do,
They're-
right? So maybe that's the thing that rounded
And
out
he's a
the
critical
rest.
thinker. A critical thinker would
'cause-
think about swimming with wild
Because
sharks.
leopards and monkey don't sound that usual. So maybe-
I am going to look for an answer at
Oh yeah. I thought this was the show.
What do you think? Shark? Do you think Peter looks
Yeah.
like a generic shark swimming guy? No.
I think shark as the line.
Yeah,
That's my vote.
yeah.
Swimming with
You're
sharks.
going shark. You're all aligned on shark. That is
Yeah.
the lie. Peter, what was the truth? What was the lie?
I did have a pet monkey when
What
I
was
was a
its
young
name?
boy. I did swim with sharks in Fiji. And it wasn't a leopard, it was a lion that almost got me in South Africa.
He's a good liar.
Humble
What a good liar.
brag.
What a good liar.
It's based on a round of applause.
See, little three.
And now let's go to the footage of the lion taking me.
I do happen to have a photo of.
Jesus! What the frig is that? That looks like a horror character holding a small monkey.
I was,
Look at its eyes. God, it looks. You let that in your house?
yeah, well, that's why the monkey had to let me go.
Ah, turn it off.
Did the monkey have a name?
No, no, it didn't have a name. It didn't hang around long enough. The hope for my parents was, we were in Malaysia, in a small town. The hope for my parents was that it would come in and become domesticated and be one of the family and help out, but it had the opposite effect. And I just disappeared in the forest for days.
Wait,
So,
your parents were trying to Dr. Dolittle your life.
something. My hope was to be Tarzan, but it didn't pan out.
Notoriously helpful animal, the monkey. Pop culture tells us monkeys are anything except mischievous.
Yes.
All right. At the end of that very entertaining bonus round, 8 points here, 12 points here. The lead has widened ever so slightly. All right. It's now time. We've looked at the highs, but let's now look at the lows as we ask, what could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
Well, that has been the theme of the last couple of years. First of all, you know, we are seeing robots take up an increasingly large place in our society. Unfortunately, this year, something happened that wasn't so favourable for the robots. What was it? Was it A, a chess tournament was interrupted when a chess-playing robot grabbed and broke its 7-year-old opponent's finger? I think this is one for you, Jack. I'm going to throw it over to you, your team over here. B, a robotic vacuum cleaner caused a security scare when it tried to enter Kirribilli House after escaping a neighbour's living room. Or was it C, security guards were forced to put down a robot sushi chef after it started threatening customers with flailing knives?
Oh, goodness.
What's your thinking at the table over here?
I recently got a robot vacuum cleaner, and the fact that it was like it's not very clever. It was meant to be a smart one, but it just gets lost, and it's very needy. We bought him as like our little son who would help us and clean our house, but we're ready to disown him. So maybe it could, roll out the door and be a security threat.
I just think that nobody wants to go to Kirribilli House. Well, maybe now that Scott Morrison is gone, people might want to go there. But I
think Peter Dutton really wants to go
that
there.
is true. As much as I like the comically, I feel like the chess one is triggering something in
it's
my
ringing a
brain. Because, of course, there's been a few chess scandals this year.
Yep.
The other one did not involve robots unless you count very intimate personal items that you get from a very special shop that children is for you when you get older.
It wasn't a nose either, was it?
No, it wasn't a nose. I'm sort of leaning
Yeah.
towards the violent anti-children robot.
Yeah, it's ringing a bell for me.
Yeah.
Jack, what about you? Where do you land?
Well, I led the team astray with the last answer, so I'm going to defer to Nat.
No, oh God, please, that way lies madness.
That's it.
I'm like solid 84% confidence.
But what's a
though.
7-year-old doing playing against a robot?
Oh, well,
Winning.
you know, they've got to...
No. You
they
don't know
gotta-
chess playing robots.
They
No,
can't
had no
start
chance.
against Gary Kasparov, don't they? They have to start against some easy opponents, and then they move the robot up through the ranks.
The robot. That's right. The robot.
All right, are you going chess playing
I
robot?
think we're going A.
I think so.
let's go.
Let's see, are they right?
Hey!
Get a round of applause and 3 points. Yes, a chess-playing robot in Russia, and of course
Russia.
it was Russia,
Russia.
broke a boy's finger when he reached to move a piece.
Was it a Ukrainian kid? Sorry, that's...
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought I said it, and I knew as I said it, I went, that's just mean.
Well, funnily enough,
I'll deduct my own points.
Funnily enough, Vladimir Putin has expressed great interest in the chess-playing robot now, saying its ability to attack its opponent already exceeds that of the Russian military. So yes.
True.
Just to be clear, the Russian Chess Federation says it wasn't the robot's fault, it was the boy's, because the boy violated the safety rules by moving too quickly.
Damn kids.
Yeah. So,
Because kids are known for being patient and
just like Russia.
just like the monkeys. Kids, monkeys, very patient, not mischievous, not quick. Okay, that
All right.
joke didn't work. All right.
Let's go over to the team I right. So this one, okay. We've talked about robots, but let's talk about software. We've had a small software glitch this year, or maybe not software glitch, but a discovery of software. What went wrong? Was it A, the live feed to NASA's moon mission was briefly interrupted when Microsoft Windows demanded an update be installed?
Relatable.
All right, we've all been there.
Relatable.
Was it B, scientists had to rename several genes because Excel kept reformatting the gene names as dates and breaking spreadsheets?
I've had that happen.
Or was it C, a cybersecurity review found 2 nuclear power stations in the USA still used a default password, which was password?
All right.
So attracted to see.
The great thing is only one of these is real, and I wrote the other 2, so I'm feeling pretty great right now. Emma, what's your thoughts?
Well, I've definitely had B happen to me on multiple occasions, but it's never made the news. It's just made me really sad. So,
Well,
don't
tonight is your
think-
night to share that pain.
yeah, it was really sad. I've not gotten over it, clearly.
Yeah, well, I've actually confused this with a date. Turns out it's...
I told you before, Peter isn't interested.
Yeah, you speak too soon, Joel.
I have a feeling it's A.
Look, I don't think it's A because there's no way NASA uses Windows. Like, number one, they're probably all Fortran boxes that they're still putting ticker tape in. If not, they're using Linux. Like they're using an operating system that doesn't update properly. So far as the C, it's definitely not C because there are definitely more than 2 nuclear power stations that still use the default password. I do a lot of security stuff. Lots of people still use password. It is horrifying.
Well, they only found 2, so it could be all of them.
That's true. Maybe their review team is terrible. But I am almost 100% sure that it's B. That they had
B's
to.
relatable, so...
It's not only relatable, but I'm pretty sure I read it somewhere in the last 2 weeks. So as much fun as it is to sort of banter about it, I think I just ruined the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, down to the but, you said, do you believe it's B?
Yeah, well, let's go with B. I'm going to go with Dan.
You're going to go with B?
Yeah.
You're all
Yeah.
united?
Yep.
Let's just see, is it B? It is B! Give them a round of applause! Yes, in another case of both scientists and Excel being too smart for their own good, scientists have been forced to rename several wittily named genes due to Excel formatting. For example, this is real, one gene was membrane-associated ring CH type finger 1, or March 1. Yeah, this was totally Excel's fault. All right, we're up to the tiebreaker for this round. This round is a biological, and in fact, at least this one is a little bit themed for you. This is an animal tracking question. We all know that scientists like to track animals, like all of your lovely coastal fish. It's open to both sides, but what went wrong with a recent tracking attempt? Was it A, a grad student accidentally left a tracker in her backpack, resulting in a campus-wide lion alert? Was it B, eagles with GPS trackers crossed the border and racked up international roaming charges, sending the scientists broke? Or was it C, a pod of dolphins started collecting trackers from fish and decorating a local reef, forcing scientists to camouflage future trackers? What are the thoughts?
Oh,
Jack?
goodness. Well, it doesn't take much to send scientists broke, so I'm going to say B's probably not likely.
Okay, this is another one of those personal,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
real type ones.
Yeah, cuts too close.
Emma, any thoughts?
Yeah, again, the tracker in the backpack is relatable, but I feel...
Is that what happened at Taronga Zoo just recently? Someone...
Yeah, look, it wasn't me. My feeling is it's maybe C.
You're feeling C? What about the team over here?
Does every
That's
campus,
where they live.
Does every campus have a lion alert? Because I wouldn't know what to do if the one at my campus went off.
UQ
Or
surely
what
has
to
a
listen
lion alert.
for.
I mean, Sydney University surely does now.
I feel like dolphins are quite cheeky. They would do something like that.
Yeah.
Like
And you want to be
bellbirds.
sure about this one.
I was leaning towards C too, but we've got to pick something else.
I reckon B. I reckon B sounds familiar, but maybe it's just a broke scientist's line. But I think I've heard something that B. It's
All right, yeah.
one
Alright.
little
All right,
percent
we're
of my
gonna go
brain.
C and
Alright,
Jack,
Elise.
you confident with B?
We're confident with Elise. Yep, go
All
B.
right, let's see. What was it? It was...
Hey!
They said you need to be sure. I'm like,
Yes.
he's trying to help.
Yes, Russian scientists, and of
Timing
course
is-
it was Russian, were forced to take out a loan and crowdfund extra money after the Eagles flew out of Kazakhstan and into Iran and Pakistan,
Goodness.
meaning each SMS went from costing a couple of cents to over $1. Scientists said that if only they'd known that eagles could travel as far as Iran, they wouldn't have run a study to find out how far eagles could travel.
It's not really the Russian scientist's fault. The border keeps changing.
The worst part, of course, was when the eagles finally landed in Ukraine and Russia sent a few people in to get them back. Oh, we don't like the Ukraine trip. Okay, noted. All right, well then, let us round out that round because it is now neck and neck, 14 to 15. All right. It is now time for my favourite game of the whole night. It is keynote presentation, where one person from each team is about to deliver a plenary lecture. Unfortunately, no one told them that they were going to be delivering this lecture. They don't know what the topic is, and the AV system is broken, so they can only share their findings through mine. Nat, would you like to help us out here?
Oh, yes. Okay.
All right. So we've
I'll
got
get Joel.
a few different ones here. Let's separate them out. Would you like to reach in, pull out a topic? I will show the audience, yes. Let me have a look at what it is. Oh, marvellous. I'll give that to you. You take that. Now, I'm going to get you two to close your eyes.
Okay.
Because that's going to be miming to you. And if we go to, give me one sec. I hope this is right. Yes, there we go. Okay, so keep your eyes covered. Keep your eyes covered.
So
Audience,
covered.
you can now see what Nat is reading.
Oh no.
Okay, that'll be good. That'll be good. This is a lot of build-up.
Oh boy.
Nat, are you confident? If you're confident, we're confident.
Wait. Okay, you are now clear to open your eyes.
Okay, good.
Nat, over to
If
you.
you're confident, all right, we're confident if you're confident.
Robots. Yeah.
Robot, great.
Yeah. Magnetic robots. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
Wet magnetic robots. Water. Drinking robots. Robots. Magnetic robots.
She's using a lot of English words, I notice.
are there hydraulics involved? No.
Are they underwater robots?
Underwater robots?
Thirsty robots.
Submarines?
They dancing,
We'll just let this ride for a little longer.
Science has never looked so good.
thirsty dancing magnet robots. Is this part of it, or are you just really nervous? Is she gonna spit? Oh no!
With magnets,
Dribbling. Dribbling magnet robots. Yep.
Just how many parts are this?
Heaps.
The second part.
Discovered. Dribbling magnetic robots
Robots
discovered
discovered.
that. They're hungry. They're choking.
Digestion.
Heimlich. It's a Heimlich robot.
Is it a deep sea probe?
Deep sea.
Deep sea diving robot?
Okay,
no,
someone's
okay.
choking.
Okay, yep.
You're
Yep,
choking.
okay. Yes. More drinking. There's more drinking.
Okay,
There's more
Jack's
drinking.
Nat has a drinking problem.
Jack's choking. Don't worry,
I've got an
I'll
idea.
dribble. Oh.
Is it a... Oh, you go.
Okay, so if Jack's choking on something, he can drink magnetic robots, and then ta-da!
Is that it? That's it. That's it. We got it. Good job.
Yes. Let's just, we'll just fill in a couple of minor
Come on.
details.
I think that was a headline.
Because that was pretty amazing. Researchers have invented a liquid magnetic slime robot that is able to be controlled by magnetic fields, conduct electricity, and slither through your body to grab and remove swallowed objects. This is the paper here. Do you want to see the robot?
Yes.
Well, you've already seen it. That was incredible.
Good job, Nat.
But we do have a very poor imitation from the researcher.
Oh.
This is the robot, directed by magnetic fields, able to wriggle through. It can form shapes, pick up objects,
It's Pac-Man.
collects the objects. It can even grab wires, roll itself up and join them together, and then it can conduct electricity to heal a circuit. And, as Nat eloquently showed, it can wriggle through a stomach, pick up something like a button battery, surround it, and then, well, you don't really want to know how it comes out. Because it takes a different exit.
Can you get them as pets?
Can you get them as pets?
I would like one at least.
Well, this is a great question. I would.
Hang on, is it reusable once it comes out?
Actually, apparently, I understand that at the moment they haven't quite worked out how to make it non-toxic. So it's reusable. The human less so.
Is there a bigger robot to get that robot out if you eat the toxic robot?
No, but that would be a great idea for a kid's book. Yeah. There was an old scientist who swallowed a robot. To be clear, the researchers say that the slime robot is not sentient and is only controlled by magnetic fields, which is, of course, just what a researcher controlled by a sentient slime robot would say. But they stress that a slime robot could never pass for a living human being, not even a politician, as it would immediately do over-the-top slimy things like appointing itself to 5 ministries. All right, Dan, I give you a huge round of applause, 5 points.
Good job, Matt. Always attractive to follow.
All right, Dan, choose your poison. May the force be with you. All right, give me a sec. Get you two to close your eyes.
So we can look.
Okay, good. Keep your eyes closed. There we go, Dan. Wait. Okay, you got everything, Dan? Much as I did. All right, you can open your eyes now. Take it away, Dan.
Swimming.
Submerging. Swimming.
Jellyfish.
Octopus. Cephalopod. Counting fish. Is it, no.
It's not octopus?
Is it a squid?
Okay.
A cuttlefish.
Okay.
You are the cuttlefish.
You're the swimming cuttlefish.
Poetic, Dan. Just cuttlefish ordering some potato gems. Changing.
He's hungry.
Are you still
He's
the cuttlefish?
eating.
You're still the cuttlefish. He's eating and he's drinking.
He's paying for food.
Paying his ticket. Yes. Give it. At the buffet, he's getting takeaway. Okay, there's a crab in there somewhere. Going sideways. He's a very organised cuttlefish. He's on an outing.
He looks happy.
He's just enjoying the scenery. He's the vista. He's evolving onto land.
He got a ticket.
Got a ticket? Yeah,
He got a ticket?
to a ride. It's a cuttlefish. He's at
A ticket for food.
He's
for a
at,
buffet.
Yeah, he's
I
at
just want to point
SeaWorld.
out this is completely obvious to everybody who
Right. He's got a ticket to an adventure park or a theme park like SeaWorld.
popcorn.
and he's
We're
eating-
going to the movies.
No, we're on the wrong.
Obviously.
Your swimming cuttlefish is going to watch a movie.
Yep. Cuttlefish that watch movies will change their colour to match what's on screen. No.
No.
So dismissive.
Oh, they put the 3D glasses on? Right.
Oh, there's more.
Yep.
more.
The film,
What-
the thing that
what's he
they
watching?
watch,
Yep,
the thing that
what's
they
he
watch,
watching?
it's other cuttlefish. Is it, oh God, no. Oh. Is it a nautilus? Is it a nautilus thing? that gets a bit smaller than a nautilus, an oyster or a scallop. A scallop.
Prawns.
What goes like that? An oyster. 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 It's a shellfish of some sort.
Ooh.
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile. Shearing a crocodile.
A swimming cuttlefish loves
Swimming
to watch
3D pictures
3D
of
crocodiles.
Is that a sax player? No, it's not. A sax playing,
Crocodile Dundee?
frying.
Prawns.
Shrimp on the Barbie, Paul Hogan. Oh.
Is that
So this is a prawn going
prawn.
swimming. Yes, they like to watch 3D pictures of Paul
Prawns.
Hogan's shrimps of shrimps. Oh, and they only respond if it's in 3D. They don't respond if it's 2D. They only can see them in 3D.
Yeah.
They only get excited when they're 3D. They want to mate with them when they're in 3D.
Too far.
Too far. What kind of movie is it? What's the rating of the movie? Yes.
Why are the cuttlefish there?
At the movies?
They're trying to
They're trying to
catch
touch the 3D.
They're trying to catch the
things.
prawns.
They're trying to catch them. They're hunting the prawns.
They're hunting the prawns.
They're hunting the prawns.
And yes,
The audience says we have
yes. And why are they there?
it. At the movies.
Yeah, why are they at the movies?
They just want to be
This is just the
entertained.
worst thing I want to stretch it out.
No, because the trailer was great.
Do they have it? Great, Ronnie, give it to them! Great round of applause! Dan Beeston, everybody!
Thank you. Oh, very good.
Yes, scientists have Velcroed tiny red-blue 3D glasses to the heads of cuttlefish, showed them 3D movies of shrimp, and observed the tentacled hunting patterns to see whether cuttlefish judge depth perception the same way we do.
Oh, goodness.
That's what I said. Sure, it's what I said.
Amazing teamwork. That is the cuttlefish there.
Is that?
Velcroed
Is this
on?
full circle? Is this the erect cuttlefish? That was.
Would you like to see a video of the cuttlefish? We've already watched Dan, why do you need to? But we'll show it to you anyway. Here we go. Here's the cuttlefish going in with its new Velcro glasses.
Oh, wow.
There's the shrimp on the screen. Currently, both eyes are seeing the same thing. The shrimp moves around. It sees the cuttlefish, and then, right on the screen. Here it is in slow-mo from the top. Now, isn't that the stuff of nightmares? And it maps right up. Now we have a picture where the cuttlefish, each eye sees a different image, so the cuttlefish looks like it's, the shrimp looks like it's closer. And, wait for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even worse, now we flip those images around and the shrimp looks further away, which means the cuttlefish. Oh no! Yeah.
Can
poor
you
little cuttlefish.
Can you get those as pets as well?
I don't know if you get a cuttlefish as a pet. This experiment was intended to help scientists understand how the visual systems of cuttlefish work and how they interpret 3D objects, and they did a series of other experiments showing different patterns to try and uncover similarities and differences. Unfortunately, the scientists have now been forced to list the cuttlefish as endangered because they no longer go hunting and instead just sitting around watching Avatar and really hoping the cuttlefish gets a cameo in the sequel Way of the Water. All right, so that brings us to the end of that round. Oh my gosh, it is still 19 and 20. It is anyone's game. Let's keep going. Because we are now into the final round. This is the final round where we are going to show you some cryptic images that relate to either the Nobel Prizes, which is one of the most sought after prizes in science, or the Ig Nobel Prizes. which, if you don't know them, are even more sought after. Because they are prizes awarded for science that first makes you laugh and then makes you think. So, here are your cryptic pictures, some of which might have been generated by AI, because Joel didn't have better things to do with his evenings. So, does anything jump out at you? Do any of these?
Bam. Yeah.
Buzz.
Yes. So the one with the metronome and the heart is an IG Nobel Prize for applied cardiology, I think.
This feels like one you should know.
Yeah. I just studied that one just because I knew it might come up. So it's because it's if you go on a blind date with someone.
Like this?
Yes. No, so yeah, if you go, yeah, let's maybe swap teams. Sorry, just kidding. It's if you go on a blind date with someone and you're attracted to them, then your heart rate will synchronize.
She's got it right. Let's strike off the metronomes. There it goes. Amazing. All right, over here, Nat, yes.
Yes, I believe that the top left corner is historical scientific research into the use of roulette wheels by Sisyphus, the famous Greek historical character well known for pushing a roulette table uphill for all eternity to show the futility of gambling.
You were so close on that one. No, she's not right.
But I was creative and funny.
She was.
Isn't that the point of the Ig Nobel Prize?
It's true. Unfortunately, just not a point on the sheet here.
Damn.
Yep,
Yes,
I've
Jack.
got one. The radioactive ice cream. I
Yes.
think that's an allusion to the idea that chemotherapy is a nasty thing, and everyone undergoing chemotherapy has a really rough time. But apparently, if you give them ice cream, it has all these indirect benefits. You might even argue placebo effects, but it has all of that anti-cancer thing that other things that are not ice cream based apparently don't do quite as well.
Exactly right, he's got it.
I think,
And explicitly, I think it stops oral mucositis.
Oh.
In addition to all those benefits, it actually acts
got
like
one?
cryotherapy.
I think it's cruel, like making that poor kid run all the way down to get a Mr. Whippy while they're doing chemo.
Harsh stuff. I think the top middle one is an Ig Nobel Prize.
Yes,
That's the constellation Scorpio,
yes.
Oh,
right?
I've got the rest.
And there is something about the Ig Nobels about scorpion constipation and its connection to whether or not scorpions feel randy or they're mating or something along those lines. I can't quite recall the
Hey, he's
details
got
of
it.
it, but that's it.
Yes, research, which I definitely do not want to do. Does constipation affect the mating habits of scorpions? I don't even know the answer in humans, let alone scorpions.
I've got one. So bottom left.
Yes.
I think they're divers. There was some research on ducklings and how they swim in formation. I don't think they're quite as artistic as those.
Isn't that a dodo? It looks like a dodo. Or
I'm
was I
gonna
just
go
looking at Dan? Sorry.
You're gonna go duck. Yes, they've got to do duck swim. How do ducklings swim in formation with the synchronized ducklings? Yes, we can tick off the swimmers in the bottom left. Thank you.
With the coloured blocks there,
Yes.
is that the proper Nobel for chemistry? Because chemistry is basically getting bunches of sticky stuff and putting it with other sticky stuff. That's chemistry. But on a molecular level, you want everything to sort of line up. And so someone's figured out a way to do, I think it's called click chemistry, where it all just clicks together like Meccano or Lego.
Hey, he's got it. Nobel in chemistry. Just tick off the Lego. Yes. And that was generated by an AI when I asked it to give me a Lego molecule. This is the future we live in.
Oh. How many of these were AI generated?
3.
3. Oh, bonus prize.
The top left.
Yes.
Unless you want to have another crack at it.
Look, it obviously involves roulette. That's where I'm stuck.
Okay.
Much like the guy pushing the roulette table, he's stuck there too.
There was the Ig Nobel for it was measuring if somebody's success in life is due to luck or talent. Turns out it's luck. Spoilers.
She's got it right. Talented and lucky there, yes. Modelling to show that, in fact, being talented is important, but not as important as being lucky.
I think I know the one with the hand.
Yes.
Hand. Is that its name? Hand?
Thing.
Thing and the knob. That was an Ig Nobel.
Thing in the knob was my old my old radio program on FM networks. I played the thing.
It's better than playing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying him.
It's like optimal width of a knob, depending on how many fingers you want the person to turn the knob with.
Exactly. The optimal finger arrangement for turning a knob. She's got it.
I don't want to turn this sexual, except that I do. But I mean, you might laugh at the turning knob thing, but that has real world implications for all of us. Again, just take that joke home. Just think about it.
The centre.
Yes.
That's the. Took me a while to figure out what was going on there. There was, I think it was the Ig Nobel for art history, which was looking at the depiction of enemas on Mayan pottery.
Oh,
She's got it all right there.
It was actually the jar.
Mayan pottery. There's a PhD somewhere for you out there.
It's actually the jar. That's the jar where they keep the scorpions too.
Now, the Neanderthal, it's going to be about sex, because that's the only story we ever get about Neanderthals anymore. No one cares about how they hunted. They just want to know about the sex. And it's going to involve Homo sapiens sapiens out sexing them and romancing them, and something to do with how much Neanderthal DNA we all have in each other. No, that I didn't mean each other. In ourselves. So it's going to be it's going to be a Neanderthal and Homo sapien sapien sexy times thing.
It's a good guess, but no, I'm going to throw it over.
No.
It's a
Is
Nobel
that
Prize.
the molecule that determined why the Neanderthal had so much more body hair than we do currently?
No, but you're on the right track.
I think it's a Nobel Prize
Yes.
for Neanderthal DNA. It was
Yes.
in medicine.
Yes. She's got
That's
it.
all I got.
Right.
Yeah.
The work to recover Neanderthal DNA, which helped us understand so much.
Nice.
And one more to go.
It looks like a Windows 95 screensaver.
This one was AI generated
Goodness
when
me.
I plugged in the prize.
What does it look like?
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Is this the Nobel Prize for Physics, where they've been playing around with that quantum mirroring stuff, where you can put one cat in a box and another cat in a box and take them real far away, and then you open up the box and both cats are pissed off. But you learn that information immediately.
Two things. One is, that's a really great description of a physics prize and a really terrible description of a biology prize. And two, he's got it right!
Hey.
Clear it off there as we get some deep thinking on the stage. And that brings us, let me just do this maths here.
Wait, are you Aristotle?
On the right, yeah. Come at a bus with me. Yeah.
So, yes, that brings us to the end of our round, which means that after battling it out, the team on my left scored a riveting 27 points.
27, pretty good. Pretty good.
But the team on my right is in a super position at 32 points, taking home the BrisScience prize for 2022. So on that note, we are going to wrap up the evening, invite you to head next door to food, but encourage you to follow us, BrisScience, on Twitter. Follow Joel Gilmore on Twitter. Follow Dan Beeston and Smart Enough to Know Better podcast. And in particular, follow us on Twitter before Elon sees this and cancels my account. But on that note, can you please put your hands together for our incredible panel this evening. Associate Professor